Right, before we look at state verbs and differentiate them from action verbs, I'd like to give you a quick overview of the tenses that we've already looked at together. Let's review them with 3 action verbs. Say, play, drive, and rain. So remember, present simple was to speak about facts and habits. I play tennis once a week. He drives fast. It often rains here. And then we looked at present continuous, which indicates an action which is in progress now. I'm playing tennis now. He's driving to Paris at the moment. It's raining again. And then we moved on to present perfect continuous, which was to talk about an action that started in the past and is still in progress. I've been playing tennis since I was 12. He has been driving for 3 hours. It has been raining all day. Then we looked at present perfect, an action that's complete at the time of speaking. I've played tennis with her once. He has driven 300 kilometers so far. It has rained 3 times this week. And then we looked at past simple, which was for an action completed at a specific time in the past. I played tennis with her when we were in Spain. He drove 100 kilometers before sunrise. It rained heavily last night. Now you notice that all these examples are with what we call action verbs. So what is the difference between an action verb and a state verb? An action verb, and most verbs are action verbs, designates an action, something that you can start and stop as and when you want. By contrast, a state verb, and there are only a few of them, designates a mental state that you cannot really start and stop whenever you want. There is a sense of continuity in them, such as be, have, exist, know, etc. Because of this sense of continuity, they don't take continuous tenses. That's what you have to be careful with. When you're using your tenses, you've got to be careful not to put a state verb in the continuous form. For example, let's look at the verb to be. I'm being tired now. Doesn't sound right, does it? Because it's a state verb. We only use simple tenses with state verbs. So I'm being tired now changes to I'm tired now. Or I've been being tired all day sounds really strange. Again, because the verb to be is a state verb. Keep it to a simple tense. In this case, present perfect simple. I've been tired all day. Let's look at 2 other state verbs. I'm having a red car. Can't do, because it's a state verb. I have a red car. And I've had this car since 2006. One more example of a state verb not taking a continuous tense. I'm knowing this man. Now, simply, I know this man. And I've known him for many years. Now there are 4 verbs that can be a bit tricky because they can be either state or action. Let's look at the first one. We've already had an example of this. It's the verb have. We saw the sentence, I have a red car. In this example, the verb to have means to own, something that belongs to you. It's a state verb. However, the verb have replaces many other verbs like eat and drink and smoke. It designates an experience or taking something. In this case, it's an action verb and it can take any continuous tense. For example, I'm having breakfast, or they're having a good time. The next verb that can be tricky is the verb think. Again, it has 2 meanings. It can mean to believe, in which case it's a state verb, and you must avoid continuous tenses here. For example, I think you're right. But think also means to reflect. Like you can be thinking about something, then stop thinking about it and come back to it later. So it's an action verb. Example, I've been thinking about selling my house. The last 2 verbs you have to be careful of are verbs to live and to work. Again, they can be considered as an action verb or a state verb. It depends on the situation, on the circumstances, on the context. Many times, whether you use it as a state or an action verb, whether you put it in the continuous or simple form, doesn't matter really. They mean the same thing. So you could say, I've been living here for 10 years, or I've lived here for 10 years. And the same with the verb work. Sometimes it's an action. You can start and stop working, for example, on a project. And sometimes it's just your job. So there is that sense of continuity in it already. So feel which one is more appropriate. Both are correct. You can say, he has been working there since 2008, or he's worked there since 2008.